From the Cross Insurance Arena, it's the main event presented by Made Hoops. Tonight, two of the top high school teams in the country in a battle of eagles, Montverde Academy out of Florida and Gonzaga College High School from Washington, D.C. Battle tonight here in Portland, Maine. I'm Rob Kennedy along with my color analyst tonight, Adam Finkelstein, who's the director of scouting for 247 Sports. This is a huge thing for Maine, of course. It's inspired by the two Flagg brothers, Ace and Cooper, who played up here in Maine. But this is a treat for fans up here. We have not seen this level of basketball, and fans are going to be very much impressed by these players who I know you know a lot about.
Well, tell you what, Cooper Flagg isn't just the best player to come out of the state of Maine. He's the best player in the entire country, and what a testament it is to him and his brother Ace and the entire family's commitment to Maine basketball that so many people have showed up so early for this game.
Well, tickets to this game sold out almost immediately. It was a 6,000-seat arena, and I was wondering, will they get 6,000 people to come down? Not only did they, it sold out rapidly, and that just is a testimony again to what this game means and what the Flaggs and basketball here in the state means to the people of Maine.
Yeah, it's just really impressive. I got to tell you, I go to high school basketball games all over the country pretty much every weekend, and I can't remember being in an atmosphere like this. I mean, usually when you play in the big arenas, it's mostly empty, but there is not an empty seat in the house tonight. This is just an incredible environment.
We're going to get down to the floor in just a little bit and talk to our floor announcer, Ethan Snow, with the coaches. Let's talk about these teams a little bit. Tell the folks in Maine about Montverde Academy.
Well, when you're trying to figure out who the best team is in all of high school basketball, it's really the race for number two, because in Maine, everybody knows Cooper Flagg, but everybody on the floor is not only a high major recruit, they're a top 50 player. I mean, it is 1 through 5. They are as good of a starting lineup as we've seen in a long, long time, and quite frankly, they are just notably better than any other high school team in the country, and so far the resume bears that out.
13-0. They have one game decided by single digits. That was taking on Paul VI out of Chantilly, Virginia. They knocked them off 69-62. Tonight, taking on Gonzaga College High School, the Eagles, also out of the same conference as Paul VI, the WCAC, Washington Catholic Athletic Conference, one of the best conferences in the country.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you can bet that those two coaches that are normally competitors, Glenn Ferrello of Paul VI and Steve Turner of Gonzaga, shared notes before this one. Is there anything that Paul VI did? Gonzaga High School is always one of the most talented programs, not just in the DMV area, but in the entire country. Steve Turner, he's got a resume that includes numerous championships, USA basketball experience. So they are here to play. They are here to win this game. They are not here just to be part of the Flagg Brothers show. They're going to try and get the W.
We're going to send it down to the floor right now. Ethan Snow is down to the Montverde bench with Coach Kevin Boyle.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rob. I'm standing here with Coach Kevin Boyle. Coach, very special night tonight for both of the Flagg brothers, but at the same time, you're coming here undefeated, still got business to take care of on the basketball court. How do you prepare your team to not only enjoy the moment, but take care of business as well?
Well, again, we want to always be very serious about the game and respect the game, but we also want to make sure the kids enjoy the experience, and obviously this is a special crowd tonight for the Flagg brothers, and we want our guys and everybody here to enjoy that. Hopefully we can put on a good show that makes them look really good in our team and our program that we've been able to build over the last 12 years, that people see why they came to Montverde.
So, bit of a flight up here, coming up from Florida yesterday. How was the preparation between getting here yesterday afternoon and all the way into this morning?
Once we got here, we practiced for 2 hours. Then last night for an hour, we watched video of Gonzaga. Today we had a morning practice and then watched video again of Gonzaga, went over the scouting report and everything on them.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ethan. What a resume Coach Boyle has at Montverde, and of course before that in New Jersey. 5 state championships in New Jersey, 8 National Coach of the Year awards, 3 from the USA Today, 3 from Naismith, 1 from Max Preps as well. He is a guy that, you can't just argue with his success.
No, you certainly can. And the other thing you can't argue with is the history of pros that he's developed everywhere from St. Patrick in New Jersey down to Montverde. It's crazy. It doesn't seem like it's been 12 years since he's been there, but what a powerhouse it's been. And if you're ever in the Orlando area, just drive by that gym. You can see the murals up there of some of the great pros. It's quite a testament to what they've built.
Ethan Snow has made his way down to the Gonzaga bench. He's with Coach Steve Turner. Let's send it down to Ethan.
Coach Turner, bit of a road trip up here from Washington, D.C. You came in today. Obviously a big game for the Flagg brothers today, but as the opposing team coming up here, possibility of a little bit of a spoiler chance. It's a really good team. How did you prepare for them?
I mean, right now we're preparing for really ourselves. This is an opportunity to play against one of the best teams, obviously the best team in the country. See where it's a measuring stick. It's an opportunity for us to go against a great team, have an opportunity to see where we stand. Our ultimate goal at the end of the day isn't just to beat Montverde. Our ultimate goal is to go back home and win our league championship. And so tonight we're going to take advantage of an opportunity to play against a great group of young men and see where we stand.
So obviously coming up from DC, not as much of a trip as Montverde had. But just talk a little bit about the preparation. A lot of these guys probably their first time in Maine, so coming up here and playing in Portland, how does that differ from other places that you've played?
Oh, I mean, it's another state. I mean, I don't think it's really any difference. It's basketball wherever you play it. These kids play on AAU teams. We play a national schedule. This is our third trip flying out of town. So and we got another one coming up next week. So this is nothing new to our guys. So they're ready to go and they're going to give their best shot and hopefully show these fans who they are and what we are made of from DC.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ethan. Coach Turner's been at Gonzaga College High School for 25 years. This is his 20th year as a head coach, 5 years before that as an assistant. He's a legacy for the Eagles out of DC.
And he's an absolutely phenomenal head coach. And year in and year out, that WCAC has just been a hotbed of talent. Now, Montverde plays in the league, EYBL Scholastic. Prior to that was NIBC, that now is very clearly the best league in the country. But prior to that, when it was much more regionalized, the WCAC is year in and year out as good as it gets anywhere in the country, and Gonzaga is always one of the very best teams.
Eagles of Gonzaga, 11-1 on the season, just suffered their first defeat. So WCAC rival Bishop O'Connell, that was on Tuesday, 65-57, looking to get back to their winning ways here in Maine tonight against Montverde. So we'll step aside for a break, come back and have these starting lineups. The main event here tonight in Portland, Maine, presented by Made Hoops and WHOU.
This is where you start your future, where you find the skills you need to succeed and the support to help you on the way, where you will find the power of innovation and creativity and the challenges to help you grow. Find a beautiful environment and a community that inspires, where you can turn your passion into your profession. This is where you start your life. This is where you belong. Thomas College.
The roar of the crowd, the excitement in the stands, the dedication, passion, and teamwork on the court, driven by the love of the game. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together, Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Our generation has a choice. Turn away from the world's problems or chase them down. We refuse to sit back and watch them pass us by. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
The moon's shadow.
Rob Kennedy back here with you in the main event, presented by Made Hoops. My color analyst tonight, Adam Finkelstein, Director of Scouting for 247 Sports. And Coach Turner, when we just talked to him on the floor, alluded to the travel that his team makes. I know Montverde travels quite a bit as well. That's something I think that would be something Maine fans wouldn't really relate to all that much, how much these guys are on the move all year.
Yeah, these are not your normal high school basketball programs. I mean, certainly Montverde is just as big as it gets, but even Gonzaga, year in and year out, they have national caliber recruits, as does this roster, and so they're playing in national events. In fact, they're going to be back in New England next weekend at the Hoop Hall Classic. They're going to go home to Florida and D.C., at least I presume they're going home, and then they're flying back up for 4 or 5 days from now to play in the Hoop Hall Classic, and you're going to have all the very best teams and countries there, and this is par for the course. This is what they do. They're on planes very frequently throughout the course of the year.
You talked earlier about some of the pros that have come through these programs, Montverde especially. What are some names you can drop for us?
Cade Cunningham, Joel Embiid, Scotty Barnes. I mean, it is a long, long list. Then if you want to go back to the Patrick School or St. Patrick's, you got Kyrie Irving, you got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. So it is a long line of pros. Ben Simmons, another one, and these are the best of the very best at their respective places.
Let's send it down to the PA announcer and have the starting lineups introduced for Montverde and Gonzaga.
Eagles taking on the Montverde Academy Eagles. Made Hoops in the main event has made a commitment to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. Profanity, degrading remarks, and intimidating actions towards officials or competitors will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the premises. Spectators are not allowed to enter the competition arena at any time. Thank you for your cooperation and promotion of good sportsmanship, and enjoy the game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Let's meet the starters for the Eagles of Gonzaga College High School. Starting at guard, a top 50th ranked junior, number 3, Derek Dixon. At guard, a top 50th ranked junior, number 5, Nicholas Lewis. At guard, a 6'4" junior, number 11, William Harper. At forward, a 6'6" junior, number 24, Alex Tuomo. And at center, a 6'10" junior, number 32, Christian Gerda. Gonzaga is coached by Steve Turner.
Nice job.
Get on your feet as we meet the Eagles from Montverde Academy High School. Starting at guard, committed to Baylor, number 1, Robert Rye. Starting at forward, a top 25 senior in the country, number 25, Derek Queen. At guard, committed to Indiana University, number 30, Leo McNeely. At forward, the pride of Newport, Maine, the Honey Badger, number 11, Ace Flagg. And at forward, the #1 ranked player in the country, committed to Duke, Maine's very own, number 32, Cooper Flagg. Montverde Academy is coached by Kevin Boyle.
Tonight's officials, Jeff House, Mike Rutherford, and Dan Bunner.
Your officials for tonight are Mr. Jeff House, Mr. Michael Rutherford, and Mr. Dan Buma.
I think it's like 10 minutes. Say what? I think it's like, 10-minute quarters now?
You heard that ovation for the Flagg brothers. Played 1 year at Nokomis High School, helped win the first Class A state championship, and Cooper Flagg heading to Duke next year, and disappointed a lot of UConn fans up here in New England. I know that.
I know we just met, Rob, but I'm a UConn alum, so it's a little early in the broadcast for that.
If I had known that, I would not have brought it up.
No, he obviously follows in a terrific pipeline of players there. Joins the Brotherhood, and that's what they do. They recruit at the highest level year in and year out.
Derek Queen is set to jump from Montverde there in the gray. In the dark uniforms, Christian Gerdek. He's a 6'10 junior. He's set to jump for the Gonzaga Eagles.
And as the saying goes, you come for the Flagg brothers, you stay for the rest of the high major guys, because everybody on this court can really play.
Oh, you'll be hearing of these guys again in D1 college and elsewhere as well. Not sure what they pulled the players off the floor for, but now it looks like they're okay. So we're going to back out and get set to jump. A little false start. And now we are ready to go. Gerdak's got some offers: Maryland, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Iowa. Derek Queen, well, a lot of folks hoping out there in the Hoosier State he's heading in Indiana. He hasn't made up his mind yet.
And he's from the DMV area, and a lot of those people are hoping he goes back to Maryland. There you go, right off the tip. Welcome home.
Welcome back, Cooper Flagg.
But that's where you see the expertise of Kevin Boyle. Wants to get his star player going and some confidence. Draws up a play right off the tip. Make no mistake about it, that was a designated set off the jump ball.
A three from Nick Lewis won't go. Cooper Flagg the rebounds. Here's Cooper. Will he take it himself? Pass back outside. Robert Wright for three. The Baylor Bear commits.
It might have got away with a walk there, but kicked it to Wright, knocked that three down.
Steve Turner, the Gonzaga coach, certainly thought so.
And that's what you're going to see from this Montverde team. Now, Robert Wright's a pure point guard, but they let Cooper take it off the glass and go with it.
Rebound this time by McNeely. He's an Indiana commit. Ace Flagg down low on the post. And a foul called against Flagg.
Now it's Kevin Boyle who doesn't like the call. Here's that play right off the jump. McNeely to Flagg. Those are two very close friends as well.
McNeely going to Indiana. He's trying to work to get Derek Queen to go with him.
He certainly is.
What a pair that would be for the Hoosiers.
To say the least.
As a Purdue fan, I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen.
Well, tell you what, Liam McNeely's going to be terrific for Indiana. A team that really needs three-point shooting, and that's what Liam McNeely does better than anything.
Certainly do. Here's the shot on the way. Harper rebounds. Queen picks that up, and back comes Montverde. Quick 5-0 lead. Gonzaga's got to be very careful. They don't let these Eagles disappear over the horizon early. Robert Wright. Flagg tried to set the screen. Cooper Flagg with it now.
Post and ace.
Ace into the paints. The fadeaway for two.
Good footwork there. Showed the spin, came back, made the tough turnaround jumper, and the local crowd loved it.
William Harper now and Alex Tomomo. Tomomo number 24, the 6'6 junior. Now Derek Dixon with it. Outside Tomomo for three. Back iron. Rebound grabbed by McNeely. They're back quickly. The Eagles are. Montverde. Robert Wright. McNeely for three. Not that time. Cooper the rebound to Queen for two.
There you see, though, the heady IQ of Cooper Flagg. One motion, gets the rebound, makes the extra pass to Derek Queen for the easy lay-in.
I think Maine fans who haven't seen him play really since his Nokomis days, well impressed by what a force he is against some of the best talent in the country. Quick outlets. Ace Flagg now. Cooper jams it home. And a quick 11-0 run out of the gate for Montverde, the Geico National Champs in 2018, 2021, and 2022, but not last year. I know they have a chip on their shoulder about that.
Well, listen, here's the reality of it. Year in and year out, they go into that event as the favorite. So when they don't win, they have a chip on their shoulder no matter what year it is.
Robert Wright, flag.
Pretty.
And a foul called as McNeely went up, and he'll head to the line.
And that's what everybody loves about Flagg, is although he's the #1 ranked prospect in the country, he's capable of putting up ridiculous numbers, as we saw in the grassroots circuit. He's also a terrific passer and a very unselfish player. It is very rare to see him force a tough shot. It almost never happens.
MVP of the City of Palms Classic as well recently over the Christmas holiday break. 21 points, 14 rebounds in the championship game.
They played 4 games down there in Fort Myers. I was at that event. He had 20-plus in 3 of the 4, but it's sometimes even a quiet 20 just because he's always playing in the flow. He can dominate the game defensively. He can control it with his passing. He's also a high-volume rebounder, so just impacts the game in more ways than anybody.
Tomomo the rebound off the miss. Here's Nick Lewis again. Lewis with plenty offers as well. Maryland, Georgetown, Tennessee. Played for the Maine Hoops program at Team Takeover as well, as many of these Gonzaga players did. Worked outside again, stolen by Cooper Flagg. Flagg.
Oh.
Wanted to jam that home, and he did touch the black line on the sidelines. This will be turned back over to Gonzaga.
But there you see a glimpse for all those areas I just mentioned that he impacts the game. He may be best as an off-ball defender.
Asa Newell coming in from Montverde. He's a Georgia commit, the 6'10 senior from Athens, Georgia. Curtis Givens from Memphis, Tennessee. He'll be heading to LSU next year.
Now, the guy they just brought off the bench, he's a top 10 player in the country. A normal starter. Kevin Boyle giving Ace Bailey the start here and his homecoming as well. But Asa Newell is he's a bad boy.
Yeah, I watched Newell start most of the games that I watched these teams. Reverse layup won't fall for Givens. The rebound picked up. Gonzaga with it now. The pass outside, Nick Lewis. Here's 3 on the way, and that won't drop.
But that doesn't look like much. But if you watch, think about what happened. Cooper Flagg just stopped the ball, top 100 player in the country. Then he flew out and contested the 3 from another top 100 player in the country. And then he comes down and gets the offensive rebound.
Off the Newell miss. Cooper with it now for 3. Too strong. And the rebound grabbed down by Gonzaga's Alex Tomomo. Nick Lewis. Nice pass underneath, but the shot by Gerdak blocked. He was fouled.
And this is really a tremendous junior class for Gonzaga. You've got Nick Lewis, Derek Dixon in the backcourt. You've got Christian Gerdak up front, Alex Tomo. So there's so many guys in that 2025 class. They're ready to compete in the WCAC right now, certainly, but will overwhelmingly be the favorite next year.
Gerdak trying to get his team on the board. He'll get one more opportunity. Junior averaging 15 points a game, 13 points a game, 8.4 rebounds.
Really broad, strong, has terrific hands. He's a really good passer. You can play out of him in the post, throw it to him, and get some cutting action.
Caleb Gaskin's in the game now for Montverde, number 12, a 6'8 sophomore from Palm Beach, Florida.
He's an exciting young prospect. Sometimes easy to forget about him, and just because they have so many weapons, so much firepower, but he's one of the best underclassmen in the country.
Likens his style to Kevin Durant. Washington, Mississippi State both taking a look at him. McNeely saves at the timeline. 11-point lead for Montverde, Gonzaga defending. McNeely approaches, rattles out. The rebound grab down, that was William Harper.
And good defensive possession there from Gonzaga. Started with Gerdak's ability to contain Flagg's penetration.
Derek Dixon. Watched very closely by Givens in a battle of 3s. Into the corner, there he is again, Mr. Dixon. Won't drop for him, though, on the rebound. Back to Montverde.
You haven't seen it yet, but that's one of the best 2025 backcourt tandems in the country, Derek Dixon and Nick Lewis.
Newell handed to Cooper Flagg. McNeely as they work it around the perimeter. Newell tried to explode inside, passed it off to Gaskins instead. He had a little trouble. Flagg for 3, rattles the rim. Newell the rebound, the putback's automatic.
Yeah, Gaskins passed up what I thought was an open three, kicked it out to Flagg, an area of his game that's really, I think, improved just that spot-up shooting ability. He's got that high release. It's so hard to contest.
Derek Dixon handling the basketball. McNeely's watching him. Gerdak outside behind the arc.
Yeah, he can play this DHO dribble handoff action.
To Momo.
Nice pass.
Into the corner. Little contact there, didn't bother Derek Dixon at all as he scores off the glass.
Yeah, Tomo used his size, threw a nice skip pass right over the defense, and was able to get a drive before a help side defender could rotate.
McNeely down low, one-on-one, got his own rebound, but stripped by Dixon, who lost it out of bounds. And into the game comes Carter Meadows, the 6'6 sophomore from Gonzaga.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. McNeely looking to expose that mismatch in the post.
Blake Harper in as well for Gonzaga. Committed to Howard University, says it was the first school that believed in him. He's the son of assistant coach Byron Harper.
He's really skilled, really knows how to play.
Flagg for three, swish!
Now this is more aggressive than I've seen him. He's looking for his individual offense here. You can see he really wants to show out in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, it's a homecoming for the Flags, and Cooper with a steal.
Off-ball defense.
McNeely waits for options. Gaskins off balance, off the glass, and down through the bucket.
McNeely was trying to hit Flagg to do a little give and go there as he trailed the break, but Gonzaga recognized it and took it away.
Montverde just disappearing here. A 16-point lead, a minute to go in the first quarter. Dixon. Carter Meadows' first attempt. It was blocked by Gaskins, but that'll send Meadows to the line.
Yeah, just a little bunch that time on the offensive end for Gonzaga. You can bet Steve Turner's going to harp on that. You're playing a defensive team like Montverde. You've got to have maximum spacing throughout the entire possession.
So at the line now, Carter Meadows, 6'6 sophomore. Miami and Pittsburgh both looking at him, as well as Maryland. No surprise, Maryland's looking at a lot of these players right in their backyard at Gonzaga.
Well, Kevin Willard, since he's gotten to Maryland, has really made recruiting his backyard a top priority. Just got a commitment last week from Malachi Palmer, nationally ranked 6'6 wing. So they are certainly prioritizing keeping those players close to home, doing a good job through the first year and a half he's been there.
One more from Meadows. And the lefty hits the second. Robert Wright handling the basketball now. The future Baylor Bear was the 2023 Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year as a junior. State titleist with Newman Goretti High School. A three is on the way. Swish. Nothing but net for Caden Allen, the sophomore from Lilburn, Georgia.
It's such a good frame on him. Really strong lower body. Caden Allen, you can see he's being taught and embracing the defensive end of the floor.
Gerdak blocked. Newell got up there, and Newell steals the basketball. Wrights slicing through defenders to score off the glass.
He understands how to leverage his body so well. He plays lower to the ground than anybody else, and it allows him to maintain that balance. See the way he took the bump, and it didn't slow him down at all. Almost helped him get his balance.
Lost out of bounds by Dixon. Montverde has 3.2 seconds to work some magic, and don't bet against them doing so.
No, that's plenty of time.
Robert Wrights at the buzzer. Ooh. Close but no off the glass, and that'll do it for the first 8 minutes. All Montverde after one, 24-4. You're watching the main event presented by Made Hoops and WHOU.live.
The moon's shadow falls across the earth, creating a narrow path of total darkness. As the sun is covered, the light around you changes, creating a sense of mystery and wonder. Only a lucky few will be in the path of the eclipse. Don't miss the opportunity to witness this amazing phenomenon. Totality has a final destination in the U.S., and that destination is Holton, Maine.
We are so incredibly excited to announce that varsity esports at Thomas College is expanding. Thanks to a generous grant from the Bill and Joan Alphon Foundation, Thomas College is planning to double the size of the esports facilities and equipment. Thomas College Esports currently supports teams in Rocket League, Valorant, and Overwatch. The Valorant team at Thomas most recently competed and won their first ever NECC championship in the Emergence Northeast Division. We hope to bring many more championships back here to Thomas Esports.
At Bay.
Rob Kennedy, Adam Finkelstein back here with you in Portland for the main event presented by Made Hoops. And for Maine fans just watching Montverde for the first time, I think the one response they'll have is simply, wow.
I tell you what, that is most teams' response. I mean, this is not out of the ordinary. This is just who this team is. I mean, everybody in the starting five is a top 40 player in America. And then they come off the bench with 3 more high major guys and 2 of the best underclassmen in the country. I mean, they are just absolutely loaded. And on top of that, they're unselfish, they play the right way, and they are extremely well coached.
Looking at the roster when I was doing the homework for this game, again, I hadn't seen them all that much being up here either. And just what stands out to me, too, is that balance you talk about, but also just the places that are recruiting these guys. And again, you talk about everybody on this team, a major recruit, huge talent. And you mentioned the unselfishness, and that to me is what stood out watching this first quarter.
Yeah, they play the right way. And when your best player sets that tone, it's easy for everybody to embrace that. And Cooper certainly does. People forget, he was the 4th leading scorer on this team last year, averaged 9 points a game, was certainly capable of scoring plenty more, but he just plays the right way.
Gerdak got blocked underneath. And it wasn't legal. Newell gets the foul. That'll send Gerdak to the line. Another main connection to this game, too. He hasn't gotten to the game yet, but Jack Janis, 6'3" senior for Gonzaga, is going to be back here this year, next year, I should say. He's going to Colby College up in Waterville.
There you go. Pride of the NESCAC.
That's right. It's all a D3 program and conference, the NESCAC.
That's a good league. Are we closer to Colby or are we closer to Bates?
We're closer to Bates.
All
Actually,
right.
Bowdoin's the closest.
Okay.
That one rolls in. Gerdak gets the shooter's roll. Curtis Givens, the future LSU Tiger.
It's a little bit of an upset because he's from Memphis.
Right, turned out his hometown school.
Tigers thought they were in there good, and then it kind of flipped in the last 24 hours.
Went to a different breed of cat.
He did.
Around the screen from Newell. Here's
Got the
Flagg.
switch.
Working on 2 defenders, doesn't matter.
So when they switch on that ball screen, it put Gerdak on Flagg. He did a nice job guarding him a few moments ago. That time Flagg took his time, got to his left hand.
Gerdak rejected by Flagg. Let's go get your shine box.
Best off-ball defender in the country.
Flagg, 2 more.
How about the hang time there, putting that one in?
It's like watching The Matrix. Nick Lewis with the basketball now. Around the Gerdak screen. Double teams. Gerdak down low. Flagg, you got him in the air. Great move by Gerdak to score off the glass.
You saw his hands, though. He has terrific hands. That was a tough one-handed catch, and he made it look easy.
Givens' pass intercepted by Blake Harper. Here comes the 6'5" senior. Harper kept it himself. Met Givens in the corner.
And they'll cut off him because he can really pass.
Gerdak, lefty for 2.
Good dexterity there. He's a righty who just scored over his right shoulder with that lefty jump hook.
Givens taking his time now. Shot clock in this game, of course, too. That's something new for Maine basketball fans. It's hotly debated here about using a shot clock. There is one in this game. Hasn't really come into play yet. These teams don't hold the ball very long when they get a good opportunity.
These teams play with a shot clock every game.
Oh, of course, yeah, they do. But Maine basketball fans don't or don't see it much. But it doesn't matter. They're so quick at finding opportunities and let it go.
It's hard. I'll tell you this, as I said, as someone who watches a lot of high school basketball, it's hard to watch the games that don't have a shot clock. It's hard to evaluate. You see teams freezing the ball the last minute of every quarter. I mean, that ends up being a decent percentage of the game. It's just not an ideal pace. It's not an ideal way for the kids to learn the game either.
You'll have some support for that argument with a lot of people here in the state of Maine.
But I understand the other. Look out.
Oh, Cooper Flagg.
I understand the other side of it too, where it's a little bit of a resource issue, not just in terms of the hardware itself, but also training the people to operate the shot clock.
Yeah, there's more to it than just putting the clock up and letting it run, no doubt. But I think that day is coming in Maine, and probably sooner more than later.
I hope so, but I understand the hesitation of some.
Derek Queen back in for Montverde. Ace Flagg is checked back in the game as well. Caden Allen enters 2. That's Robert Wright with a steal. He's got Ace Flagg with him.
Great timing.
Ace. Oh, nice touch.
Yeah, Robert Wright held on to that ball just long enough to get Ace a lane to that rim so he could catch and finish.
William Harper. Harper gets the roll.
Tough little floater there.
Harper's got some Ivy League prospects. Yale and Harvard have been looking at him. Also Temple. Richmond and Murray State, too.
It's a wide variety of schools.
Sure
Great
is.
pass.
Derek Queen. Kind of a gentle dunk.
Well, and if you saw Steve Turner on the Gonzaga sideline, he wheeled around, went right to his bench because there was no rotation there on that pick and roll.
Gerdak. Oh, a pretty touch himself. Back the other way.
But see how he uses that broad, strong frame. He initiates the contact, which kind of freezes the post defender. And then he spins off it at a nice uncontested jump hook. We've seen him turn both shoulders in the post now as well.
Queen sets quite a screen there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Wright takes advantage.
Well, and I've talked about Gerdak's hands, but to be honest with you, I think Derek Queen has the best hands in all of high school basketball. That guy catches absolutely everything.
Looking forward to watching him wherever he goes next year.
You know, he's probably going to go to a situation where he gets more offensive volume than he has here. I mean, sometimes that happens, believe it or not. You play at these elite high schools, you go to college, and all of a sudden you actually have less talent around you.
And Morosi off the backboard doesn't fall for the 6'6 senior. Wrights behind his back finds an open Ace Flagg. 2 more for Ace.
Robert Wright is getting Ace Flagg some buckets in this one. Those two must be close.
Knows how much this means to Ace Flagg, no doubt. And Ace Flagg, 2 more. It's a 41-13 lead, and there's still 3:35 left in the first half. And again, I know this is old hat to you, Adam, because you see this all the time, but this kind of offensive output is a treat for us to see it here in the Pine Tree State.
And to be honest with you, this is a wider margin than I expected this early, because Gonzaga is so talented, so well coached, that I think I expected this to be closer in the first half and then Montverde to eventually pull away. But they've been dominant here, and give the Flagg brothers credit for handling the adrenaline of what I can imagine must be a lot of excitement to come at home, play in front of this crowd, play in front of so many family and friends. If they're nervous, it's certainly not showing.
I heard them interviewed on local sports radio station WJAB. Jeff Mannix and Taylor Mannix did an interview and talked to both of them. And yeah, you could just tell the excitement even over a phone call when they talked to them on the phone, how psyched they were to be back in Maine. And I love that Kevin Boyle does this too. He finds time and place to get players back to their hometowns and allows them to kind of let the old fans see how they've grown and developed down at Montverde.
And I love the fact that he started Ace and really treated this as like a senior night of sorts,
yes,
giving the local guys the start. Because other than that, he started the same 5 every year. It's the biggest team in high school basketball with McNeely, Flagg, Derek Queen, Ace, and Newell all around Robert Wright at the point.
That was Nick Lewis, who just got the bucket for Gonzaga. Back the other way. Shot doesn't fall. And it's grabbed down. Dixon. A kick back out. Dixon with the left hands. Into the corner. Amorosi, baseline. 3 on the way. Harper, swish.
It's a good possession for Gonzaga. They got early offense, side to side in their transition game. Got a kick out 3.
Queen.
Oh,
a little bit of daylight there, and he still does. Oh, so powerful, Derek Queen.
So skilled, so powerful. He's got, and you know what else he is right now? He's as fit as he's ever been.
Harper. Connor Amorosi now. Number 22. Dixon into the paint, blocked by Tahani Miller, who just came in. Wrights. Oh, almost for McNeely, and he goes crashing down. Landed hard. Looks like he's okay, though, as he pops back up. Tahani Miller in the game for the first time, a 6'3 sophomore from Roselle, New Jersey. Scouting report on him says his basketball IQ is what makes him one of the better sophomore prospects.
Well, at that early age, if you've got a high IQ, it's not even necessarily learned. Sometimes it's just instinctive. It's a really interesting thing from when we're evaluating these kids to be able to differentiate the kids who've been really well coached and have a learned understanding of the game, and then ones who just have natural instincts.
And a great summer, too, at the CP3 Rising Stars. As now Gonzaga trying to heat up a bit.
Little bump there. Nick Lewis able to create some space. And this is where Derek Queen's handle, that's where it's going to translate the next level. They're going to let him play in all kind of dribble at and dribble handoff actions. You saw a little bit of it there with him and McNeely.
Right. Gaskins outside. Here's Queen. Off the back iron, rebound to Nick Lewis. Lewis is watched by Dahani Miller. Lewis, the floater, kissed off the glass for two.
Yeah, I thought there was some contact there too, but credit the officials. They're being very consistent. They've called a total of 1 foul. There's 1 team foul on Montverde, 0 against Gonzaga. They're letting them play here.
I think it's what the players want. Coaches haven't complained too much either.
No, you just want it to be consistent, and it has been.
Yes. Rebound by Harper. Here's Gonzaga again. Harper, that's Lewis, handle the basketball. Lewis looking for options. Saxon Smiley back to Lewis again. He'll shoot the three. Caught the iron. Knocked out of bounds by Carter Meadows. Derek Dixon back in for Gonzaga. Curtis Gibbons and Cooper Flagg re-enter from Montverde.
And you know, Rob, one of the interesting things, and I'm not sure if the fans watching at home can hear this coming through the mics, but in between the two benches as we are, you can hear there's a lot of similarities between what these coaches are saying offensively, saying move it, reverse the ball, other side, really teaching these kids how to move the basketball and go from side to side.
Queen down low, as good as Carter Meadows is, the sophomore's overmatched in that situation.
Well, when you have elite hands, you can hold off the defender with one hand and get the catch with the other.
Meadows outside. Baseline doesn't fall. Ooh. Second attempt blocked by Flagg off the Tomo shot.
Best off-ball defender in the country.
Flagg underneath, had it stripped. Solid defense by the Gonzaga Eagles the other way. Saxton Smiley too strong. Givens knocked that into the crowd. I think he was the last to touch it. Kevin Boyle disagrees, but it will be Gonzaga basketball.
You know, one of the things I've said about Cooper's defense is when we talk about elite shot blockers, usually think of 7-footers, right? You're thinking of guys who are big and towering over everybody else. Cooper Flagg is the best shot blocker I've seen in high school basketball ever who is not a 7-footer.
The attempt at the buzzer is blocked. Flagg, can he hit this?
Oh, wow.
Oh, he almost did. This place would have come unglued if he made the block in the three-quarter court shot.
Yeah, it looked like it had a shot, too. Another block to come up with it, showing that defensive dominance once again.
It's a 45-22 lead for Montverde here at the half over Gonzaga College High School out of Washington, D.C. We'll step aside for a break. You're watching the main event presented by Made Hoops on WHOU.live.
At Bangor Savings Bank, we understand that to deliver the best banking experience possible, meeting people where they are matters. That's how we fulfill our fundamental promise that you matter more. We are more than just a bank. We are friends, neighbors, and tireless advocates for the communities we serve. Wherever our customers are in their financial journey, we are there with them every step of the way.
What I enjoy most about working at Cotton Trust is the variety that I have each day coming in, then also the flexibility that I have to be able to come to work, but then also be able to go home and be a mom. Life as a mom of 3 is busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Cotton Trust gives me the flexibility that I need to advance in my career, but also keep the balance of meeting those needs at home. Cotton Trust is a great place for working families. That's what's kept me here.
Rob Kennedy, Adam Finkelstein here. We're going to go live down to the floor here in a second. And under that basket, as we pan down there, a lot of green jerseys. Cooper's close friends. There's a lot of those here today.
That's a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about here today, is just kind of the celebration of basketball.
You got some youngsters in that group, too.
You certainly do.
I need an Ace Flagg shirt. I'm going to sport that for the second half.
Well, I said when Cooper was still in high school, and of course he went down to Montverde, I said that I was going to buy a shirt, a jersey or a T-shirt, depending on which school he signed for and if I liked that school or not.
So did you buy the Duke shirt?
I haven't yet. I'll be getting a Duke T-shirt. I've never been a Duke fan. I'm going to get one for Ace, too, wherever he decides to go, and I know he's going to have some options.
You know what? I want to say this about Ace. It would be so easy for there to be some sort of conflict, or what a mature, humble, self-assured young man he is. Just a really impressive and a darn good basketball player on top of it. I remember I talked to him at the Peach Jam, and I said, you know, he had a game where he was guarding Cameron Boozer and just showing out on the defensive end of the floor. I said, you played great, and just really impressive young man on and off the floor.
So here at center court, Lori Vornis of WHOU is going to be announcing a donation to the Ronald McDonald House of Portland. She's joined by the Flagg family and Expose Design.
Now, it's very important to buy this t-shirt because you'll look cool, and $10 of every t-shirt goes to the Ronald McDonald House.
I need time for a shot clock. I have to have time in order to run a shot clock, so when the contest is done, I'm going with a 10 move.
Is that you might not know that all three Flagg brothers, Cooper, Ace, and Hunter, were premature babies. Hunter spent over 3 months in an NICU at Maynard. The Flagg family in Newport, it was too far to visit, and the Ronald McDonald House was their savior for over 3 months, and they have vowed to get back as often as possible. So your t-shirt isn't just cool and a part of history, it's also helping the Ronald McDonald House. Exclusively designed by Expose Design, tonight you helped raise $4,000 for the Ronald McDonald House. And keep it going. Every item sold at Interactive Trust always makes a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Kelly, Hunter, Victor, and everyone from the Ronald McDonald House, thank you so much. And thanks for letting us do this. Appreciate it. Buy your t-shirt and have a good game.
Tyrus Baxter, from Ellsworth.
You heard Lori talking out there, too. She did mention as well that the Flaggs have a personal connection to the Ronald McDonald House, a $4,000 check written, too. And again, just as a celebration of great things going on here tonight in both our games, the Nokomis Warriors playing that first game against the Coney Rams, the Flagg brothers, 3 Flagg brothers, in fact. Cooper, Ace, and Hunter was a senior, a couple years older than his 2 brothers. They played together, 3 years older, in fact. They played together on that state championship team. All 3 taking advantage of the Ronald McDonald House, as they just mentioned on the floor. So great celebration here tonight. Why don't we step aside for a break? We'll come back and talk more about this first half here in Montverde. It's all the Eagles from Florida, 45-22 over Gonzaga, here at the break at WHOU.live.
Just turn it on.
Where we have Tyrus Baxter from Ellsworth, Maine, who will have 30 seconds to make a layup, a free throw, and a 3-pointer. And if he does, he will be winning free pizza for a year. Tyrus, are you ready? On your marks, get set, go! All right, the layup is made. Let's cheer him on, fans. Let's get some noise for Tyrus as he tries to make a free throw. He got it. He just needs a 3-pointer now. Come on, fans, let's cheer him on. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Reset.
Tyrus Baxter, you're going home with free pizza for a year.
Cool, thank you.
Free pizza for a year. From Portland Pie Company, had to hit a free throw, a shot from the top of the key, and then one from center court. Free pizza for a year from Portland Pie Company, proud sponsor of the main event. Hot pizza, cold brews, and much more. Good food brings people together. Be sure to swing by any of our 9 locations throughout Maine. Portland Pie Company in basketball is a winning combination. Got the stat sheet coming here. We're going to take a look at that now.
It's fairly one-sided, as you might suspect.
And we'll actually take a break first, come back and talk more in depth about the stats in that first half As I mentioned before, Montverde in front, 45-22. You're watching the main event, presented by Made Hoops on WHOU.live.
You want to reach your career goals while balancing family life, but you're not sure where to start. A master's degree from Thomas College was designed with your busy life in mind, allowing you the time to take care of those who depend on you. Choose from 12 100% online graduate degree programs. Personalized, flexible, and supportive, Thomas College, your partner to a promising future.
Chimbro is building communities through bridges, office buildings, power plants, transmission lines, and more. Whether you are a carpenter, engineer, electrician, finance, or HR professional, or if you are new to construction, you'll have limitless opportunities for growth. At Chimbro, you'll be a part of a caring team who looks out for each other and takes pride in their work. As one of the country's largest 100% employee-owned construction companies, you'll work together towards success the way few other companies can match. Discover your career with an industry leader and apply online at chimbro.com.
This is where you start your future, where you find the skills you need to succeed and the support to help you on the way, where you will find the power of innovation and creativity and the challenges to help you grow. Find a beautiful environment and a community that inspires, where you can turn your passion into your profession. This is where you start your life. This is where you belong. Thomas College.
The roar of the crowd, the excitement in the stands, the dedication, passion, and teamwork on the court, driven by the love of the game. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together, Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Our generation has a choice. Turn away from the world's problems or chase them down. We refuse to sit back and watch them pass us by. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
The moon's shadow.
Along with color analyst Adam Finkelstein, the director of scouting for 247 Sports, I'm Rob Kennedy, courtside here at the Cross Insurance Arena for the main event presented by Made Hoops. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching tonight on WHOU.live. And you are getting a treat seeing two of the best basketball teams in the country, one far and away the best program in all of the United States. That's the Montverde Eagles of a 45-22 lead here at halftime. We take a look at some stats overall, and again, what stands out to me is that 45-22 lead. Montverde has made 56.25% of their field goal attempts and are shooting over a third from three-point land.
And I'll tell you what, Gonzaga didn't go away. That was the second quarter, which they even closed the gap a little bit. Just shows you how dominant that first quarter was from Montverde. But as I said, Cooper Flagg, to me, he looks aggressive. He looks very committed to coming out and having a big showing. Had 4 blocks in that first half, along with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Not a bad half.
Halftime show. I want to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, the Army National Guard, Instagram, Def Jam, Made Hoops, and, of course, Portland Pie. What impressed you the most outside of Cooper Flagg in that first half, starting with Montverde? What impressed you the most?
I think the totality of it, to be honest. I think that I would say the total floor game was dominant, and what impressed me is the fact that the moment, the atmosphere, didn't get the better of him. If you're a Duke fan, I know this is about Maine people right now, but if you're a Duke fan right now, wondering how Cooper Flagg's going to adjust to playing inside that arena with people on top of you, this is as good of an indication that he's going to be just fine as anything you're going to see, because I've never seen him play in an arena, in an atmosphere like this before.
What was City of Palms like? I know you were there in Florida. It's a huge tournament. He had a great tournament there. Not like this, though.
Most high school events aren't like this. I mean, I tell you what's a good one. Next week in Massachusetts, the Hoop Hall will sell out, just like this has. It won't be such a one-sided crowd, but they come out to see the best players in the country. The vast majority of these events, though, they're sprinkled around the country. it's usually a pretty easy seat to get, which is somewhat ironic because you're watching very literally future NBA stars. I'm not putting that destination on any one kid in particular.
There'll be some.
But certainly there will be some.
Great shot of the crowd here, too, and people enjoying this. And, again, we talked about this during the pregame. This sold out really, really rapidly and just, again, kind of proves what people in Maine basketball want to see. Let's talk about Gonzaga a little bit, though, too. Montverde's got all the attention here. They have that lead. We talked about it in pregame as well. The WCAC, they are looking to win that for the first time since 2019. Just suffered their first loss on the season to a rival in Bishop O'Connell on Tuesday. Kind of tough to go from that loss to coming in here to play Montverde, but it's a kind of game I think Steve Turner wants when you're testing yourself against great competition like this.
Yeah, and that's who Steve Turner is. That's who his program is. And listen, O'Connell, they're a tremendous program in and of itself. Coached by Joe Wooten, son of Morgan Wooten, arguably the most legendary high school coach in history, maybe him and Bobby Hurley at St. Anthony. But loaded with talent, top to bottom. So that is a hard-fought game between two of the best teams in the WCAC. Then you got to jump on a plane, come up here, and play not just the best team in the country, but very literally one of the most dominant high school teams we've seen in years.
Can anyone stop this Montverde team?
I don't think so. I mean, I'd love to say it like, oh, you never know what can happen. And certainly if that Paul VI game showed us anything, it's that, all right, maybe something unexpected can happen. But the interesting thing about high school basketball is that everything is a one-game scenario. The end of the it's like kind of like an abridged NCAA tournament, right, where everything is just a one-game scenario. If it were ever a best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, there'd be no chance. They're just too much better than anybody else.
Now, one game, anything can happen is a cliche, but it is also true. We've seen it, of course, in the NCAA tournament when you have upsets. You can see it in high school as well, but it's going to take an awful lot to knock off Kevin Boyle's bunch, and they've proven that here in the first half with that 23-point lead, more than doubling up Gonzaga after 16 minutes.
Yeah, they've been as good as advertised, and again, I mentioned this before, but think about how big they are. So Robert Wright, going to Baylor, he's the starting point guard. Then ask yourself, who's the 2 guard? Is it Cooper? He's 6'9". Yep. Is it Liam? He's 6'7", 6'8". Then you got Derek Queen, Asa Newell, and you can invert all of them. Derek Queen and Asa Newell can step out to the perimeter. We've seen Liam and Cooper both go into the post. So this is a team that has more size, especially on the perimeter, than most high major college programs.
That's the thing for me, being a newbie at this, unlike you, Adam, that I've seen, is when you bring these players in off the bench, they lose almost nothing as far as the talent that's on the floor. And it's just so rare to see that, I think. Maybe you see it more than I do, but that's what really impressed me, is there's no drop-off at all when these players come in.
No, that's what differentiates them, quite honestly. Well, when you have all 5 starters who are top 40 players in the country, that differentiates you too. But when you're coming off the bench with 3 more high major guys, that's the difference. What I love about this team, though, is that a lot of the guys they bring off the bench are underclassmen. So there's an escalation in their role over the years. Ace comes off the bench, he's a senior. You've got Curtis Givens who comes off the bench, he's a senior. But after that, you've got some of the youngsters who come off and who are going to have an opportunity to grow into bigger roles down the road. Guys like Caleb Gaskins and Caden Allen, who next year when they're juniors, maybe they're in the starting lineup or maybe they're taking on a bigger role than they did this year, but they're getting their feet under them this season.
Saw a little bit of Dahani Miller as well, the Jersey boy from Roselle, too. He's one we talked about a bit. He was in there. Boston Celtics fan, too, from New Jersey. That kind of makes me want to root for him a little bit, too. So
we can align on that. There you go.
There's what we can join on.
That's absolutely.
I root for UConn, too. I didn't research you. I researched the players more than anybody else.
You should.
I would not have mentioned Cooper's choice right out of the gate. I would have to bring it up sometime, though, because I know up here there's a lot of people who love watching UConn, and, well, they're going to be rooting for Duke, I'm sure.
I'll tell you what.
Duke jerseys and paraphernalia in this crowd.
I am very interested to see if Duke plays a game in the state of Maine.
Oh.
Because UConn, I believe, was going to. I think that was – because remember, Donovan Clingan, big man for UConn?
Yep.
His mom played at Maine, just like Cooper's mom.
Right.
That was a big part of their official visit. They did the I think it was on social media. They had the jersey photo for Donovan and Cooper in their mother's jerseys. That was pretty cool.
You need to have that in an outdoor stadium someplace, because that would draw tens of thousands of fans if Duke and Cooper were coming
like
up
the
here.
Bruins game in Fenway, right?
Exactly, yeah. That's what you'd need. I mean, this place sold out quickly. It would be about 20 minutes, I think, to sell this place out if the Duke Blue Devils are coming up here.
No, I was, is this the biggest arena around?
It is the biggest arena in Southern Maine. I'd have to check to see if in Bangor, the Cross Insurance Center up there is larger as far as basketball capacity. But off the top of my head, I don't think it is. It's pretty comparable, though. They could play it in Bangor
now,
if they wanted to.
When I coached in Bangor, this is 18 years ago now, we were playing in a hockey rink.
Yeah.
But speaking of Bangor, what a job Chris Markwood's doing up there. Just a terrific hire to bring another local prospect home and build up that program.
There we go for the second half. We'll switch sides. Liam McNeely inbounding the basketball. Montverde with that 23-point lead, wearing the gray. They're attacking.
All right, Gonzaga switched to zone now. A little 1-2-2, 3-2 look. See if they stay in this or if this is just a change-up to start the half.
Well, if Cooper Flagg can bury shots like that, they may not be able to stay in zone for very long.
Yeah, we talked about it. The work he has put in as a spot-up shooter. So much of in EYBL action, or E16, I should say, he had the ball in his hands as a self-creator. He didn't get too many of those shots, but really working on that part of his game.
Great answer for William Harper. Now Flagg again. Not that time. He's human after all. Here's Nick Lewis. Lewis trying to work on rights. He's stuck to him, though. Harper bouncing off Flagg. The three on the way. 2 straight threes. That time, Derek Dixon.
Derek Dixon just kind of drifted along the arc there, stay within the ball handler's field division. He is a very high IQ guard. Another player in that 2025 class, nationally ranked, tons of high major offers.
Queen, quadruple team, lost it out of bounds.
And they have stayed in that zone. That's 3 possessions now. Going to be very interesting to see if they're committed to that or if they're just using it as a change of pace.
One thing Cooper said in the interview that I heard was the thing he was most happy about going to Montverde is his improvement as far as his outside shooting in this guard game. Because in Maine, of course, with his height, he was playing the post.
Yeah. And as we said, you could make an argument he's the 2 guard in this lineup.
McNeely slams it home.
That friend connection there. We talked about how close they are off the floor. Cooper comes up with the block, the outlet, and then Liam McNeely showing off that athleticism.
Now I want to see Duke and Indiana play each other and see Cooper and McNeely go head-to-head. That shot missed. The rebound for Ace Flagg. Robert Wright blazing back down the floor. Oh, it's rejected. Pawed away. Dixon outside. Harper, not that time. Queen skies over everybody for the rebound.
Cooper was leaking out.
Oh, he wanted it. Here's Queen, laid off for 2 with the left hand.
But there's his unselfishness. Could have gone one-on-one there, early offense. He'd be perfectly entitled, best player in the country. Instead, hits the brakes, big man coming right by, and what a skillful finish with the left hand from Derek Queen.
Putting all his skills on display. That floater by Lewis won't fall. Cooper the rebound. Ace posting up down low. Cooper takes it himself, doesn't fall. Got the rebound, but he was standing on the baseline as Blake Harbor about to check back in for Gonzaga.
All right, now again, here was Cooper Flagg's halftime stat line. 13 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, and 4 blocks. Makes you wonder if he keeps producing along that line, what kind of numbers are we going to see at the end of it? Probably not going to get as many minutes in the second half, assuming they maintain this big lead, but I mean, he is going to flirt with some a big statistical night here.
Harper, guarded by Ace.
Ace Bailey, terrific defensive player. I mentioned earlier, guarded Cameron Boozer this summer in E16 play down at the Peach Jam. Did a terrific job.
Flagg blocked Gerdak, who was triple teamed. Here's Derek Queen again. McNeely lays it up, the finger roll for 2.
So what happened there? Cooper struck down the middle of the floor. He sucked in the defense. That left Liam McNeely wide open on the wing.
3 doesn't fall. Gerdak, oh, great hands. But he is rejected by Queen. Ace Flagg down there too, and McNeely picks up the loose ball. Here comes Montverde again. Right to Queen, and it's stripped. Good quick hands that time by William Harper.
Nice pass with the left arm. Good idea. He thought Dixon was cutting to the basket, and instead he was spotting up at the arc.
And put the brakes on and a turnover. Mason Newell back in now for Montverde. Here comes Curtis Givens too. Ace Flagg and Derek Queen checkouts.
Good minutes there for Ace. Gonzaga still in this 3-2, 1-2-2 zone.
So Turner trying to slow them down offensively and try to chip away. It was now a 26-point gap. Make it 29. Curtis Givens, welcome back to the show.
And we've talked about that PVI game, the only team to play Montverde within single digits. They played a lot of zone in that game.
And again, you said they probably compared some notes. Those two WCAC teams from the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference. Nick Lewis. Givens switched up on him. Harper, rejected by Flagg. Another block for Super Cooper.
He's just so good. Did you just coin that right off the bat, or are you saving that one? That was good.
Well, I've used it in another sport, but it kind of felt fitting right there. But there's McNeely nailing a three.
I mean, he's just so elite off the ball defensively.
There's the kick out to the corner. The three no good. Givens fighting for the rebound. He's on the floor. And a foul called.
Get another look at it here. Cooper going up, sending that back off the backboard. And see what happens. It sparks the run out. So you create offense from your defense when you've got him on the back line.
Foul called against William Harper. One foul apiece now for both teams. 3:33, you see the time remaining in the third quarter. Wrights to Newell. Got Gerdak in the air. Gerdak played it as well as he could, but there's Flagg for the follow.
Well, and that's just the challenge of playing zone if you don't have the size to match up with them, because it allows Montverde to get on the offensive glass, and that's just as easy of a bucket as Cooper's going to get tonight.
Harper. Gerdak. Rattled out. Flagg the rebounds.
And he's very good at this, taking it off the glass and starting the break.
Givens. Flagg, the NBA three. Won't go. Looks good. Didn't fall. Asa Newell, though. Wow.
The lefty, he's athletic, he's skilled.
He certainly is.
And it's almost easy to forget about him, right? You're talking about McNeely, you're talking about Cooper, you're talking about so many other guys. There's another top 10 player in the country.
Harper all the way cross courts. The floater. Lewis hits it, and a timeout called.
Kevin Boyle was yelling, go, 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 go. Steve Turner says, we're going to talk about it.
2:36 remaining, a 64-30 lead for Montverde. You mentioned that stat line for Cooper. How long do you think they'll keep him in the game here if the lead stays at 34 points at this point, or they keep extending it?
I have to wonder if they're checking his stats, to be honest. I mean, certainly midway through the fourth, I think, is the norm. But I expect you'll see Ace get a significant amount of minutes here down the stretch. And, give him 32 minutes. Cooper could be flirting with, I don't even want to say it, whether it's triple-double, quadruple-double, whatever. But he's stuffing all four of those stat columns.
Last time Cooper Flagg played on this floor, it was a Class A state championship victory over Falmouth, the Yachtsmen at the time. Cooper and Ace winning the gold ball with Hunter Flagg. First time back, and both Flaggs are highly impressive once again. Different opponent, to be sure. Nothing against the Falmouth boys, but Gonzaga College, a different animal, and it hasn't mattered at all. Cooper has dominated.
So I have a question for you, because from a perspective of Maine, do people in the state of Maine realize that they do now?
Yeah.
The difference in the caliber of high school program from a Montverde between like a local state association program, not just a Maine program, but any.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because people follow college basketball pretty closely, and you kind of know where our players tend to go to. A lot of D2 players, the best players in the state, have gone to D2 programs quite a bit. Had a few go to D1. Nick Cannon-Medley, for an example. He went down to Maryland. Ralph Mims at Florida State back in the early 2000s, too. But, yeah, people understand that, and that's, again, why I think this game sold out. It's not just the Flaggs, it's the talent.
Yeah.
Three on the way. Oh, they just don't miss. That's Robert Wright again.
Again, Robert Wright, it's easy to not realize just how good he is because there's so much talent around him. Talking about so many other guys.
Here's Wright, the rebound by Newell. Wright wants two more. Doesn't have it. Newell now picked it up. Oh, he had him defenseless too. Gerdak didn't want to make the foul, and he got the other opponent in the air.
They just don't have anybody who can physically contend with Newell inside, and Gerdak is a big, strong guy, but Newell's just on a different level. Good footwork.
Wouldn't go for him, but he'll go to the line. Gerdak's got offers from Maryland, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Iowa. So.
Oh, he's a great player.
I was going to say, proves your point as far how good and physical he is.
Yeah, he's a true anchor. As I said, you can play through him down there because he's got great hands. He's almost impossible to move. He can really pass the basketball. He rebounds his area at a very high level, and he's a smart defensive player.
A couple of sophomores set to check in. Saxton Smiley, Carter Meadows. Meadows will have to wait a bit. Looks like he's going in for Gerdek. And there's Christian. About to take his second shot. Keep the basketball here, and that will get Meadows in the game.
Cooper wanted that board. An offensive rebound off a missed free throw is a coach's nightmare because it's basically just a blockout drill.
Eric Dixon resetting for Gonzaga. Watched by Liam McNeely. That's the other thing Maine basketball fans, I think, seeing here, big guys like McNeely playing out deep like they are defensively and not being in the post all the time. Shot won't fall. Steve Turner wanted the foul, didn't get it.
Now you see Gonzaga back to that man-to-man, so changing around defenses a little bit. Talked about the challenge of rebounding out of that zone.
Cooper Flagg. That'll be a blocking foul called. That goes against Dixon. Saxon Smiley.
I think that's an area of Cooper's game that he could still stand to weaponize a little bit more. It's just the tightness and creativity of his handle. He's got exceptional footwork and is really adept at scoring over top of people because he's got that high release. But I think just in terms of the sheer handle, that could potentially get a little tighter if you're talking about somebody who projects as an alpha creator at the next level.
Smiley hits. Saxon Smiley, averaging 5 points a game, just buries a basket.
Nice soft touch.
Foul called. That's on Meadows.
Don't see too many post-entry passes from half court, but that's exactly what Cooper did. I think he just looked at Kevin Boyle and he looked at Kevin Boyle and said, "That's my fault." Yeah. You know what I noticed talking about the nerves going into this game? Cooper doesn't smile very much on the floor. You very rarely see any emotion. In warm-ups today, that's that high release I was talking about. Warm-ups today, when that crowd erupted, I saw him smile. It just showed that quick peek of how much this means to him because that is very rare when you watch him play as frequently as I have.
Robert Wright, a floater won't go. The rebounds. Quick kickouts. 2-on-1. The bouncer to Smiley, and he got around McNeely to score.
Montverde coming right back at him.
Cooper Flagg outside. Wright down low. Newell hits.
He's left-handed, so that if he can turn his right shoulder and he's got 2 feet in the paint, that's as good as a layup.
14 seconds left in the third quarter. A little trouble there for Gonzaga, bringing the ball up the floor. Harper trying to beat the timeline. Flagg on the floor. It'll be last shot to Montverde. Givens. A rebound grab. There'll be no further action in the third quarter, but Montverde extends their lead. They're up on Gonzaga, 73-35 after 3. Back for the fourth. Right after this, you're watching the main event presented by Made Hoops on WHOU.live.
The moon's shadow falls across the earth, creating a narrow path of total darkness. As the sun is covered, the light around you changes, creating a sense of mystery and wonder. Only a lucky few will be in the path of the eclipse. Don't miss the opportunity to witness this amazing phenomenon. Totality has a final destination in the U.S., and that destination is Holton, Maine.
We are so incredibly excited to announce that varsity esports at Thomas College is expanding. Thanks to a generous grant from the Bill and Joan Alphon Foundation, Thomas College is planning to double the size of the esports facilities and equipment. Thomas College Esports currently supports teams in Rocket League, Valorant, and Overwatch. The Valorant team at Thomas most recently competed and won their first ever NECC championship in the Emergence Northeast Division. We hope to bring many more championships back here to Thomas Esports.
At Bank.
Rob Kennedy and Adam Finkelstein back here with you in Portland, the Cross Insurance Arena, downtown Portland, Maine, Maine's largest city. It's the main event presented by Made Hoops, and Montverde showing they are a fully operational Death Star, just blasting Gonzaga like they're Alderaan.
Caught me off guard with that one.
Sorry, I throw those in every once in a while.
That was a good one. That was a good one. You're an original trilogy kind of guy, or you like the new
absolutely,
movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just at my age, I just couldn't really adapt to the other ones. It's always the Holy Trinity for me.
Got it.
Nick Lewis, nice
Pretty.
bouncer, and a dunk by Carter Meadows, who was all by himself. Pretty pass, pretty finish.
The way in which he engaged that secondary defender by going right at him and freezing him really opened up that guy in the roll spot.
Curtis Gibbons absorbed the contact. McNeely has that go through his fingers. A turnover to Gonzaga.
Gibbons got to get a little closer to the scoring area in order to initiate offense. That was just too long of a pass.
Nick Lewis handling the basketball. Harper switching places with him for Gonzaga. Lewis, great speed, but too many Eagles underneath. Eagles in gray and purple and gold out there anyway, but the foul called. And that sends Lewis to the line.
So here's where we're at in the Cooper Flagg triple-double watch. After 3 quarters, he's got 20 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, 9 rebounds, including 4 offensive, 7 blocks, and 5 assists.
He had 4 of those blocks in the third quarter alone.
Yeah, just defensively, as I said, he's just so good defensively. And specifically, it's not to say he's not good on the ball, but specifically he is exceptional off the ball.
First one's good for Nick Lewis, the junior, averaging 12 points a game, 6.2 rebounds. Good assist man as well. He gets a half dozen of those per game, too.
Yeah, he's a creator. He can create offense for himself and others.
And the ball's going to stay with the boys from D.C.
Second time they've given up OBU out of bounds under off that free throw, so you can bet that's going to come up in the film session tomorrow.
Kevin Boyle does not look impressed.
No, and it's one of those things you say, hey, they're up by whatever it is, like quick math, they're up by 35, who cares? Well, you don't become this dominant by ignoring those details, and anybody who knows anything about Kevin Boyle knows that you can just watch the way he's coaching right now. He's still way up there coaching every possession.
That's not the mindset you have when you're the #1 team in the country. Perfect passing in the finish from Caden Allen, the sophomore from Georgia.
See, already Montverde going a little deeper in their bench. Got 2 of the underclassmen on the floor. There's 2 of their typical starters on the court right now.
Jackson Smiley worked that down low. A foul call. That's going to go against Newell. Meadows, the man fouled. Well, the game's well decided here, obviously, but you're not going to see anyone leave. They're loving this display of basketball. That is even with neither Flagg on the floor. Lewis spins, no. Givens the rebound for Montverde. Givens standing out with those pink shoes. McNeely.
It's pretty basketball.
Oh, sure is. Givens open for 3. It's offline. Great position on the rebound. That's yanked down. Oh, it wouldn't fall. Great outlet by Meadows, too. They couldn't get the finish. Caden Allen shot short. Allen's got the rebound, though. He'll try again and finish.
And now at the scorer's table, you've got Cooper and Ace going to come back in together.
Yep. Just notice them sitting down just to my left, and this place will love seeing that.
And you can look across the court and see everybody with their phones out taking a picture of this one, including Mom.
I'm photobombing this, I think.
Yeah, I know. We're in it. We're in it. Look professional, all right?
Yeah. He shot by Nick Lewis, almost dropped for him. Givens. McNeely. Contact there with Harper didn't matter. McNeely just too strong, and he exploded to the hole.
And this is what I love about McNeely. He's known as a shooter, and rightfully so. He really shoots it. But whenever he has a defender in motion, somebody's closing out at him, even semi-short, he has a great knack for making plays.
What a great stroke from William Harper. Downtown for 3, and we've got a full change here for Montverde. Queens back in, both Flaggs, Robert Wright. Who'd I miss?
Yeah, Kevin Boyle used the timeout to get subs in, but Steve Turner says, I'm going to take it, talk it over.
Caden Allen coming in as well, and yeah, he'll take his timeout. He'll have 2 left. Cooper Flagg, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. 5:31 still to go in this game. His average in the season, 15.3 points, 7.5 rebounds. But again, tonight I think was a night that Kevin Boyle said, we're going to let him loose, we're going to let him loose, and of course, do the same thing if Ace can break through as well, and Ace has had a good night.
Yeah, and although he's been aggressive, I think there's maybe been 1 contested shot. You know, there was 1 in the first quarter. I said, that's a little out of character. It's not a bad shot per se, certainly not for a player of his stature, but his ability to play within the flow, make the right pass, is really one of the things that differentiates him, specifically on the offensive end of the floor, from other 5-star prospects. I mean, really, in my opinion, he's more of a point forward than anything. If you watch him play with that Maine United team in the Nike circuit, that's really how he operated. He was both their leading scorer, but also their primary facilitator as well.
And I think that's what made Maine people realize just what they had here with the Flaggs with that Peach Jam when Ace and Cooper both had, an entire great tournament for Maine United.
Well, to me, what that showed was just how dedicated Cooper and the Flaggs were to the state of Maine, because he had played in Florida for a year, which means he was eligible to play for any of the Florida EYBL teams or any team in any adjoining state. And instead, he decided to come back home, play with the friends he grew up with, even though it was in that E16 division instead of the actual EYBL. And they had a storied run. They went all the way to the finals of the Peach Jam, played in front of LeBron James, so many other NBA stars.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, those are memories that not only Cooper, but the other 9, 10 kids on that team.
Oh, another block for Cooper.
They'll never forget that.
And Robert Wright with a finish.
That's 8 blocks for him now on the night. He is hunting that triple-double.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I cut up the highlights and the film for this game. There's just too many. And some from the boys in dark gray out there as well, although not that time for Derek Dixon.
That's 10 boards now.
He's got his double-double, triple-double on the way. There's Wright, 3 more. The question now, can Montverde get to 100?
What happens first? Montverde gets to 100 or Cooper gets 2 more blocks?
Good question. Even odds either way. Smiley, he's watched by Ace. Smiley shoots over him. Ace was there to contest it. Long rebound back to Smiley again. Second time doesn't go. Rebound to Ace, out to Cooper.
Would have been really easy for him to leave his feet and hunt that block, but he just made the fundamental defensive play.
Cooper carried it, had a little too long. He didn't think so. And, the crowd does not like that.
That is the one time you will see him show emotion, when there's a call he doesn't like.
This is like a reaction. I'm also a hockey guy here, Adam. You don't know that about me, but this is like, I think how the crowd in Montreal back in the 50s would react to a call against Maurice Rocket Richard.
Okay.
Just an idol up there, and he could do no wrong, and neither can Cooper here in the Pine Tree State.
Cooper is the Rocket Richard of Maine. I like it.
I would say that. Oh, Derek Dixon.
Bobby Orr's not walking through that door.
Cooper Flagg one-on-one with Smiley. There's a screen from Queen. Oh, great move by Flagg. Hello!
They made him mad. They called the travel.
Nick Lewis. Oh, great hands by Gibbons. Probably went over the line, but they let him get away with that, and that's fine. Oh, Kurdak right up over Queen for 2.
I think the next one may be the last one for Cooper.
I would think possibly. 3:16 remaining. Rights. Cooper wants one more. Here it comes. Oh, Kurdak got in his way.
He got hit from behind, too.
Yep. So they got the foul on. Was that Gerdak? It is. Tahani Miller back in. Lucas Lima will check in the first time, the senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's a guy, Lima, who started at the development center for Montverde and played his way under the national roster, and I don't think that happens all that much.
No, there are a lot of basketball players down there at Montverde. I mean, they have multiple teams, which isn't out of the norm in the state of Florida. You see a lot of programs that do that.
I looked at their website, and again, just seeing the several rosters on there and what you're looking at for athletes. Missed by Flagg. The crowd gasps.
It's all part of his plan to stay in the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Get the other kids to sub in for somebody else.
One more for Cooper. Nick Lewis picked up by Ace. Wright helping out too. Great pass. Cooper, another block.
That's 9.
Oh, Flagg. And they call the offensive foul. And
you know what happened the last time he made a call against him. Look out on the next possession.
Listen to the reaction from the fans here in the Pine Tree State.
Now, you asked me earlier how long they would leave Cooper in the game, and remember I said it might depend on the stat line. Remember, he is 1 block away from a triple-double right now, and he is still in this game.
Saxon Smiley, been impressed with the sophomore off the bench. Smiley with it now, staring down in the face of Cooper Flagg. Lewis has had an impressive night. That one won't drop for him. Flagg tipped it home himself. That one won't count for him, though. Scoring at both ends, Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, well, it's probably the only mistake he's made tonight.
He hasn't made many. Now he'll atone for it now, perhaps. Not quite. The rebound to Hani Miller for 2. Caleb Gaskins re-entering, and that's maybe it for Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, that's it.
And the crowd rising to their feet. +6,000 strong here at the Cross Insurance Arena. Have loved this night tonight, the main event. And Cooper and Ace Flagg back home. And a standing ovation for Cooper. Maybe he'll play another game in Maine. Adam mentioned potentially. Maybe
tomorrow.
Duke can play up here. And of course, yeah, he'll play tomorrow. I'm at the Civic Center floor. I know he's at the Expo tomorrow. You'll be at that game.
Yep.
Now, you'll head out to Massachusetts as well for the weekend, next weekend as well, too.
I will be there, yep. And it's, you know, you would, listen, at some point in time, he's certainly gonna play in New England again. We know that. He'll play at Boston College next year, and that'll give an opportunity for local fans to come see him. But what a special moment there to get, whether it's 6,000, 7,000, whatever it is, all on their feet. And I just continue to be so impressed by the composure, you know, to take it all in stride.
Cameron Craze is going to love him.
Yeah.
And he won't be daunted at all.
I honestly think that was the difference. I mean, UConn had made some – UConn was perceived to be even the favorite at one point, but you go down and you go into Cameron Indoor, and the way they were chanting for him when he walked into that building, that's a hard it's a hard thing to duplicate.
How do you turn that down? Ace Flagg replaced his brother in the contest now. Caleb Gaskins. Allen lost it, guarded closely by Connor Amorosi, the senior. Grabbed off the floor by Jack Kachanis, who is again going to Colby next year. We'll see him back in the Pine Tree State. Kachanis with the ball now. Into the corner, the 3 hits. That's Alex Tomo.
Yeah, nice touch.
Pass to Ace Flagg. Won't fall. The putback, Lucas Lima.
Great catch, though.
Just ran out of space underneath, and there was Lima to clean up the mess.
He almost managed to spin it in. I mean, that was impressive. He got it as close as he did.
Tomo. Amorosi trying to spin. Pass that over here. That'll be Montverde basketball. Exactly 1 minute to go. 100's looking unlikely. You just watch this powerhouse Montverde program, though. They are a thrill to watch, and Gonzaga as well. I mean, take nothing away from the Eagles from D.C. They are a brilliant team in their own right. Just too much Montverde today. Blake Harper heading to Howard University and heading for the hole.
The skyhook throwback.
Gaskins on the baseline. The fadeaway for 2.
Tough shot, that high release.
Kevin McHale-esque.
Yeah. Ace Flagg going to get to finish this one off on the home floor.
Future Colby kid, Kachanis, missed.
There's the board.
There's the rebound for Ace. 17 seconds to go. A memorable night here in Portland, Maine. Historical night of basketball. The fans will stand and applaud once again, and so will I. (93-51) the final score. Montverde with the victory. 14 wins and 14 games on the season for the Eagles. From Orlando, 20 miles west anyway. Gonzaga now 11-2 on the season. Losing the last 2, but tonight just too much Montverde. Want to keep it right here. as there's going to be a post-game ceremony we certainly want to bring you here at the Cross Insurance Arena. We'll also take a look at the final stats once we get those official stats handed to us. The ceremony we're waiting for is about 4 or 5 minutes away. So what we'll do is we'll step aside for a break. We'll come back and have that ceremony right here live, watching the main event. Also get some time when we come back to thank some of our sponsors as well. So we'll step aside for a moment. Montverde, the victory tonight, 93-31, and the main event presented by Made Hoops on WHOU.live.
At Bangor Savings Bank, we understand that to deliver the best banking experience possible, meeting people where they are matters. That's how we fulfill our fundamental promise that you matter more. We are more than just a bank. We are friends, neighbors, and tireless advocates for the communities we serve. Wherever our customers are in their financial journey, we are there with them every step of the way.
What I enjoy most about working at Cotton Trust is the variety that I have each day coming in, then also the flexibility that I have to be able to come to work, but then also be able to go home and be a mom. Life as a mom of 3 is busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Cotton Trust gives me the flexibility that I need to advance in my career, but also keep the balance of meeting those needs at home. Cotton Trust is a great place for working families. That's what's kept me here.
You want to reach your career goals while balancing family life, but you're not sure where to start. A master's degree from Thomas College was designed with your busy life in mind, allowing you the time to take care of those who depend on you. Choose from 12 100% online graduate degree programs. Personalized, flexible, and supportive, Thomas College, your partner to a promising future.
Chimbro is building communities through bridges, office buildings, power plants, transmission lines, and more. Whether you are a carpenter, engineer, electrician, finance, or HR professional, or if you are new to construction, you'll have limitless opportunities for growth. At Chimbro, you'll be a part of a caring team who looks out for each other and takes pride in their work. As one of the country's largest 100% employee-owned construction companies, you'll work together towards success the way few other companies can match. Discover your career with an industry leader and apply online at chimbro.com.
Back here with you in Portland. I want to thank our sponsors for this game tonight. We had a bunch who contributed. Portland Pie Company for one, Instagram, Def Jam as well. Gatorade, Army National Guard, and of course Made Hoops, who made this all possible here tonight. Cooper Flagg, 1 block short of a triple-double. We thought he might get it at him. He came very close. They have him credited for 8. You know it's 9, though.
Are we getting pie? That's what I want to know.
I would love
to
get
pie?
Some. I hope so.
Yeah, he had 9. I think what happened, he went up and met that driver at the rim, pinned it against the glass, and that, that's just that can happen. They'll give him the 9th block when they review it.
Yeah, right.
But what a showing. Dominant on both ends of the floor, and that's exactly, what you saw today is very representative of who he is. Just the unselfish, dominant, two-way star who doesn't need to monopolize the ball to control the game.
Let's look at some total numbers overall, too, as we take a look at, we won't do it now. Ceremony's coming up. Now, they're just clearing the court right now. As you can see, a bunch of fans have come down. So they're going to clear the court, and once they do that, we'll have our post-game ceremony over for Gonzaga. Total points tonight, 2 with 11 tonight. Nicholas Lewis and William Harper. Christian Gerdak, 13 points. Some tough points for him tonight. He was made to work for that Baker's dozen.
Yeah, he certainly was. I mean, as I said, this is not only the best team in high school basketball, it's also the biggest team in high school basketball with just so many big bodies down in there. Asa Newell, Derek Queen, and then you got Liam McNeely and Cooper Flagg. So imagine that. You're trying to post up on Asa Newell, and then the weak side shot blocker coming at you is Cooper Flagg. So, yeah, this is going to be a harder night than Christian Gerdak's got on the rest of his schedule for sure.
And for Montverde, 5 players in double figures tonight. Cooper Flagg leading with 23 points, but 15 for Robert Wright, 11 points for Asa Newell. And Derek Queen, Liam McNeely, you just mentioned them, 10 points apiece for them. And you look at the rebounds, Flagg with 10 leading the way, Asa Newell with 9 boards himself. And you just look at this stat sheet, and as you mentioned, Adam, at the beginning of this contest, this team is so deep, and the stat sheet reflects that. They really shared the wealth tonight when it came to points, rebounds, pretty much everything in the statistical categories.
Yeah, and so unselfish. 22 assists. I mean, Robert Wright has 15 points, 9 assists, and he got those 15 points almost when the defense forced him to shoot because he came down with that pass-first style. So, as I said, when your best player, Cooper Flagg, sets that tone of unselfishness, everybody else buys into it. That's who Robert Wright and Liam McNeely are to begin with, but when your best player sets the tone, it's just really difficult for everybody to not follow suit and play that same way.
So Montverde tomorrow at the Expo is playing Cats Academy. Let's preview that a little bit when we have some time. What do you know about Cats Academy, and what do they like when it comes to, I mean, let's compare them a little bit to Gonzaga.
So Cats Academy is a young growing program from the greater Boston area. They're younger, quite frankly. I mean, they're not quite as seasoned. One of the better, they play in the NEPSAC, so they typically play against prep schools.
Right.
Obviously, Montverde operates under the rules of a traditional high school. So the 32-minute game will be shorter than Cats is used to. But quite frankly, Gonzaga is a team that's a little more seasoned, a little more experienced. Cats has weapons. They've got good players, but they're going to have they're going to have their hands full tomorrow night with Montverde.
You'll be there tomorrow night with Brandon Terrell. That game coming at you from the Portland Expo. It's great to use both venues. Couldn't use this one 2 nights in a row. The hockey team, the Maine Mariners, are here tomorrow night. I think the Maine Celtics are playing at the Expo tonight, so they had to switch the venues. But we'll be there, bring all the equipment across town. It's not too far of a drive to reset up. And, of course, we're there all the time anyway for the Maine High School Basketball Tournament. So Steve Carmichael, who's kind of running the show here tonight's got some work to do tomorrow to get things set up. Trying to coordinate down on the floor with Ethan Snow as far as who we can talk to. I think.
All right, well, as the fans continue to clear out of the Cross Insurance Arena, standing beside me is the mother of the Maine sensation, Cooper Flagg, and Ace Flagg as well. Kelly, describe what it was like to see not only both of your sons come out here and put on an amazing show tonight, but just take me through their journey to getting here, from playing here almost 2 years ago in the state championship game in Class A to coming here tonight. Describe what that's been like from a mother's perspective.
Well, it's really been a surreal experience. It was a tough decision for us to send them away to school, away from their home, their state, their friends, their family. And, they've had a great experience down there at Montverde. And it's a great team. It's pushed them. It's made them into the players they are today and what everybody saw. And, it's just been a really great experience for all of us and our family, and we're super thankful. And, the way that the state of Maine has continued to support them, though, is really extraordinary. That doesn't happen everywhere, and we don't take it for granted. So we're super appreciative, and when this idea came about, we were just so thrilled to be able to come back and do this for the state of Maine and give them a chance to come and support the boys in person. And this was incredible. It was phenomenal. I have goosebumps still because it was so incredible.
So just from their perspective, now obviously you don't see them a whole lot where they're down in Florida, but from their perspective, what was it like for them when this all came together? What was their feelings coming into this week? Obviously there's been a lot of build-up coming into when it was first announced. What was it like in the weeks leading up to this moment, to tonight, and then getting to tonight?
Well, I think that, it didn't really hit them. They knew that it was coming, but they're so focused on their season, and every game that's in front of them is important, and so they're really focused on getting ready for each opponent. But this last week, since City of Palms, and they knew this was the next game and the next showing, they really have been excited to get here and see all of their friends and family again.
Well, Kelly, thank you very much for joining us post-game tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. We got another game with Montverde and the boys, so should be a fun one. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Ethan. Let's talk about one thing when we have a moment, too, as we wait for this presentation. What's the postseason like as far as for Montverde, for Gonzaga as well? I know Gonzaga plays in the WCAC, but as far as the postseason is concerned, you mentioned single elimination, but how does that tournament get arranged? Who plays who? How's that one work?
So it's different. For Gonzaga, they'll go into the WCAC playoffs right after the high school season. For Montverde, there's almost a gap. So just like they came home for the holidays, they typically, I think, go on like a spring recess around March Madness time. Then they come back and have about 2 weeks of practice heading into what has historically been known as Geico Nationals, which is, I believe, the week prior to the Final Four. So that's all the way in like the end of March, the beginning of April. So this is a long, long season that's going to have kind of another break. But again, Montverde, Kevin Boyle, he's used to this. They've got it down to a science. And but it is a little bit of an unusual schedule for a high school team because they do take a break after the regular season. They're off for a couple of weeks. They come home. Then they're going to go back, start practice, and gear up for Geico.
How many games in all will Montverde end up playing, would you think?
That I don't know. What I can tell you is Geico is typically, or historically, I should say, an 8-team field. So you got to win 3 games to win the whole thing. Qualifying for it is always tough, but Montverde is obviously going to be not only in, but the top seed.
So we're going to have to wrap things up now from the Cross Insurance Arena. Final score tonight, 93-51. Montverde, with their 14th victory of the season. Gonzaga falls to 11-2 on the year. Lots of people to thank tonight. Ethan Snow, who was down on the floor doing our sideline reports, and our floor reporter. I want to thank Steve Carmichael, who did all our production tonight. I want to thank Adam Finkelstein, who came up to Portland, Maine, headed on the broadcast, and added a whole lot of context information. You know these guys really, really well. It was great to have you here tonight.
Well, you made it easy. Thanks so much.
I appreciate that. My name is Rob Kennedy, saying so long from Portland. Final score, Montverde knocks off Gonzaga 93-51. This has been the main event presented by Made Hoops on WHOU.live.